The contract hit Kang Ji-Hoon square in the face. Pages scattered across the mahogany conference table like white confetti at a funeral. "You must be out of your goddamn mind." Naima Okonkwo stood at the opposite end of the table, chest heaving, dark eyes blazing with fury that could melt steel. 29 years old. Nigerian-American tech CEO, self-made, brilliant, and currently looking like she wanted to commit murder. The intricate geometric tattoo on her right arm, traditional Igbo patterns mixed with circuit board designs, flexed as her fists clenched. Ji-Hoon slowly picked up the contract from where it had struck him. His jaw, sharp enough to cut glass, tightened. "Miss Okonkwo," he said in that infuriatingly calm voice, his slight Korean accent making every word sound precise. "Throwing documents is hardly professional." "Professional?" She laughed, harsh and bitter. "You ambush me in a board meeting to inform me I'm being sold like cattle, and you want to talk about professional?" Ji-Hoon's own tattoo, a Korean dragon that started at his collarbone and disappeared under his custom Armani shirt, seemed to writhe as he stood, all 6'2" of controlled fury. "I'm as thrilled about this arrangement as you are," he bit out. "Trust me." "Oh, I'm sure," Naima spat. "The great Kang Ji-Hoon, forced to marry a black woman. How you must be suffering." His eyes went cold. "Dangerous. My objections have nothing to do with your race and everything to do with the fact that you've spent 2 years stealing my clients, undercutting my bids, and generally making my professional life a nightmare. Because you're an arrogant, controlling, micromanaging tyrant who thinks innovation means doing everything the way it was done in 1995. And you are a reckless, impulsive cowboy who burns through investor money like it's kindling." They were shouting now, leaning across the table, close enough to see the fury in each other's eyes. "Enough!" The voice came from the head of the table. Naima's father, Dr. Chukwudi Okonkwo, professor, venture capitalist, disappointed parent. "Both of you, sit down." Neither moved. Now, they sat. Barely. Still glaring at each other like boxers waiting for the bell. Ji-Hoon's mother, Mrs. Kang Sun-hee, adjusted her pearls with the precision of someone who'd never made a careless movement in her life. "This merger is not optional," she said in Korean, then repeated in perfect English for Naima's benefit. "Both companies are failing. The board has voted. The investors have spoken. You marry, our companies merge, or we both lose everything." "There has to be another way," Ji-Hoon said through clenched teeth. "There isn't," his father, Kang Dae-jung, replied flatly. "We've explored every option. This is it." Naima's mother, Amara, spoke softly but firmly. "Baby, I know this isn't what you wanted." "Wanted?" Naima's voice cracked. "I built Okonkwo Tech from nothing, from a dorm room and a laptop, and now you're telling me I have to marry this corporate robot to keep it." "Watch your mouth," Ji-Hoon warned. "Or what? You'll force me to marry you harder?" "Children, please," Dr. Okonkwo started. "I am not a child." Naima stood again. "I am a CEO of a company worth $300 million, and I will not be auctioned off like $200 million, Ji-Hoon corrected coldly. "Your last valuation was $200 million, and dropping." The look she gave him could have stripped paint. "How dare you?" "He's right, Naima," her father said quietly. The words hit like a slap. Naima turned to her father. "What?" "Your investors are pulling out. Without this merger, Okonkwo Tech folds in 6 months, maybe less. And Kang Tech," Mrs. Kang added, looking at her son, "is hemorrhaging money. The AI division you insisted on developing has produced nothing but losses. Without fresh capital and Okonkwo Tech's innovation, we're bankrupt by year's end." Silence fell like a guillotine blade. Ji-Hoon and Naima stared at their respective parents, then at each other. "No," Naima whispered. "The wedding is in 3 months," Mr. Kang said. "You'll live together starting next week, for appearances. We'll announce the engagement tomorrow," Mrs. Kang continued. "The business world expects a love story. You'll give them one." "I won't do this," Naima said. You will, her mother said gently, or everything you've built dies. Naima looked at Ji-Hoon, really looked at him. He was looking back with the same trapped, furious, desperate expression. Two CEOs, two enemies, two people who just had their futures decided without their consent. I hate you, she said quietly. The feeling, he replied with equal coldness, is entirely mutual. And somehow they both knew. This was going to be a disaster.
Fall in love across cultures. Soul Heart Stories brings you passionate Afro-Korean romance, billionaire CEOs, dangerous mafia bosses, and K-drama-inspired love stories that will make your heart race. Subscribe for your next obsession.
2 years earlier, the tech conference in San Francisco was supposed to be routine. Naima Okonkwo, then 27, hungry and ready to prove herself, stepped onto the stage to pitch Okonkwo Tech's revolutionary AI system. She wore a sleek black suit that showed off the geometric Igbo tattoo running down her right arm. Her natural hair was styled in an elegant twist. Her presentation was flawless. The venture capitalists in the audience were entranced, all except one. Kang Ji-Hoon sat in the third row, arms crossed, expression unreadable. 32 then, already a legend. The youngest CEO in Kang Tech's 50-year history, known for his brutal efficiency and refusal to suffer fools. His dragon tattoo peeked from his collar, a source of family scandal, but he'd gotten it anyway. When Q&A started, his hand went up first. Mr. Kang, Naima acknowledged with a professional smile. Your AI claims 98% accuracy, he said in that precise accent. But your sample size is only 5,000 inputs, statistically insignificant. How do you justify that claim? The room went quiet. Naima's smile didn't waver. Our sample size is appropriate for proof of concept. Once funded, we'll scale to millions of inputs within 6 months. If funded, he corrected. Your burn rate suggests you'll be bankrupt before then. Mr. Kang, are you asking a question or trying to tank my pitch? I'm asking if you've actually done the math, or if you're just very good at PowerPoint. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Naima's hand tightened on the clicker, but her voice stayed steady. I have 3 advanced degrees in computer science and mathematics. I've done the math, have you? Or do you just enjoy the sound of your own voice? His eyebrow raised, just slightly. Almost impressed. Touché, Miss Okonkwo. She got the funding. He got her name on his list of people to watch. 6 months later, Kang Tech and Okonkwo Tech were competing for the same government contract. $300 million. Winner take all. The final presentations were on the same day. Naima went first, crushed it, walked out confident. Ji-Hoon went second. His presentation was technically perfect, clinical, precise, but the government panel looked bored. A week later, the announcement came. Okonkwo Tech won. Ji-Hoon called her directly. Congratulations, he said, voice tight. Thank you, she replied sweetly. Better luck next time. There won't be a next time. I don't lose twice. Guess you better get used to disappointment then. She hung up. The war had begun. The next 18 months, they became obsessed with destroying each other. Every contract, every pitch, every client. It became about winning, yes, but more about making the other one lose. Naima poached 3 of Ji-Hoon's top engineers. He bought out one of her major investors. She undercut his bid on a healthcare contract by 10%. He launched a competing product 2 weeks before hers. They sniped at each other on tech podcasts, subtweet each other on Twitter, glared daggers across conference rooms. The tech world watched the feud like a spectator sport. Kang versus Okonkwo, the rivalry of the decade, Forbes called it. Neither would admit they'd started checking the other's social media daily. Neither would admit the rivalry had become personal. And neither saw the iceberg their companies were heading toward. 3 months ago, Ji-Hoon's CFO delivered the news. We're bleeding money. The AI division is 6 months behind schedule and 300% over budget. Without new investment or a major acquisition, we're done. The same week, Naima's lead investor pulled out. Market's too volatile, they said. We're cutting our losses. Naima worked 20-hour days trying to find new funding. Every door closed. Ji-Hoon pitched merger after merger. Every board rejected them. Then their fathers met for lunch. Old friends from business school. They'd kept in touch over the decades. My son is drowning, Mr. Kang said. My daughter won't ask for help, Dr. Okonkwo replied. What if we merge the companies? They hate each other. Not if they were married. A pause. That's insane. Is it? Our companies together would be unstoppable. Her innovation, his infrastructure, it's perfect. They'll never agree. They don't have a choice. And so the plan was born. The lawyers drew up contracts. The boards were convinced. And now, 2 weeks later, Ji-Hoon and Naima sat in that conference room, being told their fates. 1 week later, Naima stood outside Ji-Hoon's penthouse with 3 suitcases and a dying will to live. The building was obscene. All glass and steel, overlooking downtown Seoul. He'd moved the company headquarters there 2 years ago. She'd never been to Korea, didn't speak the language, and now she was moving in with her mortal enemy. The door opened before she could knock. Ji-Hoon stood there in black slacks and a crisp white shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows. His dragon tattoo writhed up his forearm. He looked as thrilled to see her as she felt. You're late, he said. There was traffic. You should have anticipated traffic. You know what? This is already exhausting. She pushed past him with her bags. The penthouse was exactly what she expected. Minimalist, cold, everything in shades of black and white and gray. Not a single personal touch except a photo of his parents and a framed newspaper article about Kang Tech's founding. Home sweet home, she muttered. Your room is down the hall, second door on the left. Stay out of my office and my bedroom. Trust me, I have zero interest in invading your space. Good, we maintain separate lives. You do your work, I do mine. We appear together for required events. That's it. Sounds perfect. I've had a schedule printed. He handed her a 3-page document. She stared at it. You scheduled our fake relationship? Efficiency requires planning. You're insane. I'm organized. There's a difference. She scanned the schedule. Monday, 7 p.m. Dinner at Youngsik. Hold hands minimum 3x. Laugh at his jokes 2x. Are you serious? Image matters. We need to appear in love. This is the most romantic thing I've ever seen, she deadpanned. Mock all you want. This marriage needs to look real. It's not a marriage yet. It will be in 11 weeks. The reminder hit like cold water. I need a drink, Naima muttered, heading for the kitchen. Liquor cabinet is locked. She spun. You locked the liquor? I don't drink. You shouldn't either. Alcohol impairs judgment. Oh my God. She grabbed her suitcase. I'm going to my room before I commit a felony. 11 weeks, Miss Okonkwo, he called after her. 11 weeks of hell, she shouted back. She slammed the bedroom door, then immediately opened it. Where's the Wi-Fi password? He looked up from his tablet. I'll text it to you. You have my number? Of course. I researched you thoroughly before agreeing to this arrangement. You researched me? Know your enemy. Sun Tzu. We're supposed to be married, not at war. Are those mutually exclusive? She slammed the door again. His phone buzzed. A text from his mother. How is it going? Ji-Hoon looked at the closed door. The suitcases scattered in the hall. The general aura of chaos this woman had brought into his carefully ordered life. He texted back, perfectly, then poured himself a drink from the unlocked liquor cabinet. This was going to be a very long 11 weeks. The restaurant was one of Seoul's finest, all ambient lighting and whispered conversations and food that cost more per bite than most people's car payments. Naima felt like she was preparing for battle. She wore a black dress that showed her tattoo and her confidence. Red lips, natural hair, and an elegant updo. Ji-Hoon arrived in his usual armor, perfectly tailored suit, that infuriating calm expression. You're on time, he noted. Sarcasm, how original. Shall we? He offered his arm. She took it because the cameras were already flashing. "Smile," he murmured as they walked in. "You look like you're attending a funeral. I'm mourning my freedom." "So dramatic." They were seated at the best table. "Of course." "Remember," Ji-Hoon said quietly as the waiter approached, "we're in love. Try to look at me like you don't want to poison my food. I'm an engineer, not an actress. Then learn fast." The dinner was torture. He ordered for both of them without asking. "I can order my own food," she hissed. "I know the menu, trust me." "I don't trust you as far as I can throw you." "Good thing we're sitting down then." But the food, when it arrived, was incredible. "Fine," she admitted. "It's good. I told you. Don't be smug. It's unattractive. And yet you can't stop staring at me. I'm glaring, not staring. Is there a difference?" "Yes, one involves thoughts of violence." He almost smiled. Almost. A woman approached their table, elegant, Korean, beautiful. Her eyes lingered on Ji-Hoon. "Ji-Hoon, see," she purred in Korean. "I heard rumors but didn't believe them." He switched to Korean smoothly. "Min Seo, how unexpected. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friend?" Min Seo's eyes raked over Naima with thinly veiled disdain. Naima didn't speak Korean, but she recognized a threat when she saw one. Ji-Hoon's hand moved to cover Naima's on the table. The contact sent an unexpected jolt through her. "This is Naima Okonkwo," he said, still in Korean but slower, clearly for Naima's benefit. "My fiancé." Min Seo's smile turned brittle. "How modern of you." "How rude of you," Naima said clearly in English. Ji-Hoon translated. Min Seo's eyes widened. "I don't need to speak Korean to know when someone's being condescending," Naima continued. "So unless you have something pleasant to say, I suggest you move along." Ji-Hoon translated again, his lips twitching. Min Seo left in a huff. "Well," Ji-Hoon said, "that was necessary, and don't think this means I like you. I just don't let anyone disrespect me." Noted. But his hand was still on hers, and neither of them moved to break the contact. "Who was she?" Naima asked finally. "Ex-girlfriend. My mother's choice. Very traditional, very Korean, very much not you. Is that a compliment? Take it however you want." They finished dinner in slightly less hostile silence. On the car ride home, Naima asked, "Why did you defend me?" "To her." Ji-Hoon kept his eyes on the road. "Because you're my fiancé. Even if it's fake, no one disrespects what's mine." Something in her chest did a weird flip. "I'm not yours," she said quietly. "For 11 weeks you are. 10 weeks now. Who's counting?" Both of them, apparently. Living with Ji-Hoon was like living with a very attractive, very annoying drill sergeant. He woke at 5 a.m. every day, including weekends, made protein smoothies that smelled like lawn clippings, went for a run, showered, and was working by 6:30. Naima, who did her best work between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m., was not impressed. "Do you have to make so much noise?" she groaned one morning, stumbling into the kitchen at 6 a.m. because his blender had woken her. He looked up from his laptop, already showered and dressed in slacks and a button-down. His dragon tattoo peeked from his collar. "Good morning to you too." "It's not morning, it's still night." "The sun is up." "Barely." She grabbed coffee from the pot he'd made. At least, he did that right. "Some of us work late. Some of us manage our time efficiently. Some of us are about to commit murder." But she noticed he'd made the coffee exactly how she liked it. Strong. No sugar. Week 2. They developed a rhythm. Sort of. He worked from home most days. She did too. They stayed in their separate offices, emerged for required meals and public appearances, went back to their corners. But small things started happening. He noticed she forgot to eat when she was coding, started leaving snacks outside her office door. She noticed he worked himself to exhaustion, started leaving ibuprofen and water on his desk when he had stress headaches. Neither acknowledged these gestures. Both noticed. The fight about the thermostat, It's 78 degrees in here, Naima complained. Optimal temperature for productivity, Ji-Hoon replied without looking up. For you, maybe. I'm melting. Then wear less clothing. Or you could stop being a control freak for 5 minutes. I'm not a control freak. I simply have standards. You color code your sock drawer? How did you go through my things? I was looking for a phone charger. I've told you 3 times where the spare chargers are kept. I forgot. They were standing toe-to-toe now. Well, toe-to-chest. She was 5'8" in heels. He was 6'2". You, he said quietly, dangerously, are the most infuriating woman I've ever met. You, she shot back, are the most uptight, controlling, impossible man in existence. They were breathing hard, close enough to feel each other's anger, close enough to see the way his eyes dropped to her lips for just a second. He stepped back first. The temperature stays at 72, he said. Compromise. Fine, fine. She went back to her office, tried to ignore the way her heart was racing, told herself it was just anger. Just anger. Nothing else. The charity gala was the social event of the season. Seoul's elite. Korea's wealthiest families. Every tech CEO who mattered. And Ji-Hoon and Naima had to attend as the perfect couple. Naima wore emerald green that made her skin glow. Her tattoo was on full display. She looked like a queen. Ji-Hoon wore Tom Ford and looked like Sin. His dragon tattoo wound up his neck just slightly above his collar, scandalous by Korean standards, but he'd stopped caring what society thought years ago. Ready? He asked as the car pulled up. As I'll ever be. He offered his arm. She took it. The cameras went insane. Inside, they were mobbed. Everyone wanted to meet the mysterious couple, the tech titans who'd gone from enemies to engaged seemingly overnight. Naima smiled until her face hurt. Ji-Hoon's hand never left the small of her back. You're doing well, he murmured during a rare moment alone. I'm dying inside. Could have fooled me. You look radiant. She glanced up sharply. Was that a compliment? You clean up okay too, she admitted. High praise from you. Almost a smile. From both of them. Then Park Jae-sung approached. CEO of a rival tech firm. Known for being ruthless, unethical, and handsy with women. Kang, he said, eyes sliding over Naima like she was dessert. I see you've diversified. Ji-Hoon's hand tightened on Naima's waist. Park, he said coldly. And who is this beautiful creature? Park reached for Naima's hand. She pulled it back. Someone who doesn't appreciate being called a creature. Park laughed. Spirit, I like that. How much did Kang pay you to play his girlfriend? The insult hung in the air. Naima felt Ji-Hoon go absolutely still beside her. Dangerous still. She's my fiancée, Ji-Hoon said quietly. Too quietly. And you'll apologize now. Or what? Park sneered. Or I'll make sure every investor in this room knows about your insider trading investigation. Park's face went white. You're bluffing. Try me. They stared at each other. Park looked away first. Apologies, he muttered before disappearing into the crowd. Naima let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding. Thank you, she said quietly. Don't thank me. I just didn't want him to think he could disrespect my fiancé. Still, you didn't have to. Yes, I did. He looked down at her. Really looked at her. Dance with me. What? Everyone's watching. We should dance. He led her onto the floor before she could protest. The music was slow, romantic. His hand settled on her waist, hers on his shoulder. They moved together seamlessly. I didn't know you could dance, she said. There's a lot you don't know about me. Like what? Like the fact that I think you're brilliant. Infuriating but brilliant. She stumbled. He caught her. Careful. You think I'm brilliant. Your AI system is elegant, revolutionary. I hate that I didn't think of it first. Is this you being nice? Because it's uncomfortable. He almost smiled. Don't get used to it. Too late. I'm already suspicious. But she was smiling too. And when the song ended, neither moved immediately. "Naima," he said quietly. "Yeah? This arrangement. It's not as terrible as I thought." "Careful, Kang. That almost sounded like a compliment. Don't let it go to your head." But his hand lingered on her waist, and hers on his shoulder. And something shifted. Something neither was ready to name. Okay, pause for a second, because are you feeling this tension? Ji-Hoon and Naima went from enemies to whatever this is. And I need to know, are you team they're perfect together or team this is a disaster waiting to happen? Drop a comment right now and tell me. Would you marry your rival to save your company? Comment yes if you take the deal, or never if you'd let it all burn. I'm dying to know. And where in the world are you watching from? Comment your city or country. Soul Heart Stories family is everywhere. If you're invested in this enemies to lovers chaos, smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe because I drop a brand new Afro-Korean romance story every single day. Tomorrow's story is going to absolutely wreck you, trust me. Now, let's get back to Ji-Hoon and Naima, because things are about to get very complicated. Tokyo business trip. Week 5. The merger required them to present a united front to potential Japanese investors, which meant 3 days in Tokyo. Together. "I booked 2 rooms, Ji-Hoon said as they checked into the Park Hyatt. "Good," Naima replied, exhausted from the flight. Except when they got to the desk. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Kang. We only have 1 suite available. There was a booking error." Ji-Hoon's jaw tightened. "Fix it. Every hotel in the city is booked. There's a tech conference." "We'll take it," Naima interrupted. She was too tired to argue. "It's a suite. It'll have a couch." Ji-Hoon looked like he wanted to protest. "It's 3 nights, Kang. We're adults. We can handle it." Famous last words. The suite was beautiful. Panoramic city views. Marble bathroom, king-sized bed. 1 king-sized bed. "I'll take the couch," Ji-Hoon said immediately. "You're 6'2", you won't fit on the couch. I'll manage. Don't be ridiculous, the bed is huge, we can share it, like adults." "Naima? Unless you're afraid you can't control yourself around me." She raised an eyebrow. His eyes flashed. "Fine, we'll share the bed. But stay on your side." "Gladly." Night 1. They changed in separate areas, maintained a careful distance, got into bed with a pillow barrier between them. "This is ridiculous," Naima muttered. "You insisted on sharing," Ji-Hoon replied, already on his tablet working. "Do you ever stop working? Do you ever stop talking? Good night, Kang." "Good night, Okonkwo." She fell asleep almost immediately. He tried to work, but found himself watching her instead. She slept curled on her side, one hand under her cheek, her tattoo visible on her arm. Peaceful, beautiful. He forced himself to look away. This was an arrangement. Nothing more. Night 2. The investor meetings had been brutal. 12 hours of presentations, negotiations, cultural diplomacy. They stumbled into the suite at midnight. "I need a drink," Naima groaned. "Minibar. You'll allow it? After today, I'll join you." They sat on the couch with whiskey and exhaustion. "You were good today," Ji-Hoon said quietly. "The way you handled Tanaka-san's concerns about scalability. Brilliant." Naima blinked. "Was that a genuine compliment? Don't let it go to your head. Too late. I'm going to lord this over you forever." But she was smiling. "You weren't terrible either," she admitted. "The way you negotiated the timeline, I wouldn't have thought of that approach. We make a good team." The words hung between them. "Yeah," she said softly. "We do." "Naima, we should sleep. Early meeting tomorrow." She fled to the bathroom. When she came out, he was already in bed, facing away. She climbed in, maintained the pillow barrier. But somehow, by morning, they'd both migrated to the middle. She woke wrapped in his arms, his face buried in her hair, both still asleep. She should move, should pull away. Instead, she closed her eyes and let herself have this, just for a moment. Night 3. The deal was done. Investors secured, victory achieved. They celebrated with champagne in the suite. "We did it," Naima said, slightly tipsy. "We did." Ji-Hoon was buzzed too, his control finally cracking. "I hated you, you know," she said. "I know, I hated you too." Past tense. He looked at her. Really looked at her. Past tense. "When did that happen?" "I don't know. Somewhere between you defending yourself to Min Seo and falling asleep on my shoulder on the flight here." "I did not fall asleep on your shoulder." "You drooled on my suit jacket." "I did not." "It was cute." She froze. "Cute? Forget I said that." "No, you think I'm cute?" "I think." He set down his glass. Stood. Paced. "I think this arrangement has become complicated." "Complicated how?" "Complicated like I can't stop thinking about you, like I look forward to our morning coffee routine, like when Park touched you at the gala, I wanted to break his hand." Naima stood too. "Ji-Hoon, like when you sleep next to me, I have to physically restrain myself from pulling you closer, like this fake engagement is starting to feel real," she finished. "Yes." They stood there. Two CEOs, two enemies, two people who'd somehow become something else entirely. "This is a bad idea," she whispered. "The worst. We hate each other." "We did. Past tense." "Ji-Hoon." He kissed her. Or she kissed him. It didn't matter. What mattered was the way his hands slid into her hair. The way she pressed against him like she'd been waiting for this. The way 2 years of rivalry and 5 weeks of forced proximity exploded into desperate need. "Bedroom," he gasped against her mouth. "Yes." They barely made it. Naima woke to sunlight and immediate panic. She was naked. In Ji-Hoon's arms. In Tokyo. Oh God. She tried to slip out. "Where are you going?" His voice was rough with sleep. "We need to talk about what happened." "Do we?" He pulled her back down, nuzzling her neck. "Ji-Hoon, we slept together. This changes everything." "Does it have to?" "Yes, we're supposed to be faking this." He propped up on one elbow, looking down at her. His dragon tattoo stark against his pale skin. Hair mussed, eyes still warm. "Were we faking last night?" "That's not the point. Were we faking when you fell asleep in my arms the past 3 nights? Were we faking when we worked together yesterday like we'd been doing it for years? Were we faking when you laughed at my terrible jokes at dinner? You don't make jokes. I do around you." That stopped her. "This is crazy," she said. "I know. We're supposed to hate each other. I know. Our families forced us into this. I know. So why does it feel right?" He finished. She closed her eyes. "Yeah, Naima. Look at me." She did. "I don't know when this stopped being fake for me. But it did. And I think it stopped being fake for you too." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying, what if we stopped fighting this? What if we actually tried?" "Tried what?" "Being real." Her heart hammered. "We have 6 weeks until the wedding," he continued. "Let's make them real. Date for real. Get to know each other without the armor. And if by the wedding you still want out, we call it off. But if you feel what I feel..." "What do you feel?" He cupped her face. "Like I'm falling for my rival. And I don't want to stop." She kissed him, soft, sweet, full of possibility. "Okay," she whispered. "Let's try real." The next 6 weeks. Everything changed, and nothing changed. They still bickered, still competed. But now it was playful. Now when he corrected her code, she kissed him instead of arguing. Now when she beat him at their morning runs, he pulled her into the shower with him. They learned each other. She learned. He hummed when he cooked, had a secret sweet tooth. Cried during animated movies, but would deny it. Called his mother every Sunday, spoke 3 languages fluently. Got his dragon tattoo the day after his father said he'd never amount to anything. Was terrified of failing, was falling in love with her. He learned She sang off-key in the shower, stress-baked at 2 a.m., had a photographic memory, was fluent in Igbo and learning Korean for him. Got her geometric tattoo after her grandmother died. Each pattern representing a woman in her family, was scared of being vulnerable, was falling in love with him. Week 7. The family dinner. Both sets of parents. One table. One fake-turned-real couple trying to navigate the minefield. So, Mrs. Kang said in Korean, which Naima was now learning. Have you set a wedding date? Naima understood enough to answer. 4 weeks, at the Botanical Gardens. Mrs. Kang's eyebrows rose. Your Korean has improved. Ji-Hoon is teaching me. A look passed between the mothers. And Ji-Hoon, Amara asked. Are you learning any Igbo? Naima teaches me phrases, he said. Then in halting Igbo. I maranma. You are beautiful. Naima's eyes widened. Dr. Okonkwo laughed. Well, I'll be damned. Language, dear, Amara chided, but she was smiling too. You two seem different, Mr. Kang observed. Happier. Ji-Hoon took Naima's hand. We are. Is this still an arrangement? Mrs. Kang asked pointedly. Or has it become something real? Naima and Ji-Hoon looked at each other. Real, they said simultaneously. Well, Dr. Okonkwo said, that's unexpected. But good, Amara added quickly. Very good, Mrs. Kang agreed. The parents exchanged looks. Their plan had worked. Better than they'd hoped. Week 8, the scare. Naima's lead investor called an emergency meeting. We're pulling out of the merger, they said. Naima's blood ran cold. What? Why? The optics. An arranged marriage for business purposes. It's problematic. We can't be associated. It's not arranged anymore, Naima interrupted. Excuse me? It started as an arrangement, but Ji-Hoon and we're together. For real. This isn't business, it's personal. Can you prove that? How do you prove love? Miss Okonkwo, we're getting married because we want to, not because we have to. And if you can't see that, then maybe you're not the right investor for us anyway. She hung up. Then immediately panicked. Had she just blown up the deal? The merger? Everything? Ji-Hoon found her on the penthouse balcony, spiraling. I ruined it, she said. I just told our biggest investor to fuck off. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Naima. He turned her to face him. Breathe. I just destroyed everything. You stood up for us, for what we have. Which is what? A merger that started fake? Which is real. You said it yourself. We're real. But what if I'm wrong? What if this is just Stockholm Syndrome from forced proximity? What if... He kissed her. Do you love me? He asked. What? Simple question. Do you love me? Because I love you. I'm in love with you, Naima. Completely, terrifyingly, and I don't care if it started fake. It's real now. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I love you too, she whispered. I tried not to, but I do. Then we'll figure out the investor situation, together, like we do everything now. Together. His phone buzzed. The investor. Texting an apology. They'd reconsidered. Deal was back on. They laughed, cried, kissed on the balcony as the sun set over Seoul. 2 weeks before the wedding, Min Seo returned. With photos of Ji-Hoon and Naima's first meeting, the contract thrown in his face, the hostile negotiations. This will go to every news outlet in Korea, she threatened. The perfect couple exposed as a business arrangement. Your companies will tank, your reputations destroyed. What do you want? Ji-Hoon asked coldly. You, back, where you belong. I belong with Naima. You belong with a Korean woman, someone appropriate, not some foreign... Finish that sentence, Naima said quietly, and see what happens. Min Seo smirked. What will you do? You need this merger. Without it, you're nothing. Actually, a new voice said. All three turned. Dr. Okonkwo and Mr. Kang stood in the doorway. Actually, Dr. Okonkwo continued, we don't need the merger anymore. Both companies have stabilized. The initial investment was enough. What? Naima breathed. We've been profitable for a month, Mr. Kang said. We didn't tell you because we wanted to see if we'd stay together anyway. Ji-Hoon finished. The fathers nodded. So publish your photos, Mr. Kang told Min Seo. The world will see what we already know. 2 people forced together who chose to stay. That's romantic. Not scandalous, Dr. Okonkwo added. Now get out before I call security. Min Seo left in a rage. When they were gone, Naima turned to Ji-Hoon. We don't need to get married, she said slowly. The companies are fine. I know. So we could call it off, go back to our lives. We could. Is that what you want? No, he took her hands. I want to marry you, not because I have to, because I can't imagine my life without you in it. Ji-Hoon, Naima Okonkwo, will you marry me? For real this time. No contracts, no arrangements, just you and me. She laughed through tears. We're already engaged, you idiot. So that's a yes? That's a yes. He kissed her. Their fathers applauded. Finally, Mr. Kang said. Some honesty. You set us up, Naima accused. We gave you a push, Dr. Okonkwo corrected. You did the rest. Do you forgive us? Naima looked at Ji-Hoon, at the man she'd hated, then tolerated, then fallen completely in love with. Yeah, she said. We forgive you. The Botanical Gardens. Seoul. The setting was perfect. Cherry blossoms, string lights. 200 guests who'd watched this love story unfold. Naima wore white with traditional Igbo patterns embroidered in gold thread. Her geometric tattoo on full display. Hair in goddess locks. Radiant Ji-Hoon wore a custom black tuxedo with subtle Korean embroidery. His dragon tattoo visible at his collar. Handsome, nervous, happy, they'd written their own vows. Naima, Ji-Hoon began, voice thick with emotion. 2 years ago, I saw you as my rival. 6 months ago as my burden. 3 months ago as my reluctant partner. But today, and for the rest of my life, I see you as my home. You challenged me, changed me, made me better, and I promise to spend every day proving I'm worthy of the gift you've given me. Your brilliant mind, your fierce heart, and your impossible love. Saranghaeo, I love you. Not a dry eye in the house. Ji-Hoon, Naima said, tears streaming. You once asked me if I could prove love. I couldn't then, but now I know. Love is choosing you every morning, even when you make smoothies at 5 a.m. Love is learning your language, your culture, your fears. Love is fighting with you, fighting for you, and fighting beside you. You make me want to be brave enough to be soft. And I promise to challenge you, support you, and love you through every impossible thing life throws at us. Aham ihunanyagi. I love you. Ji-Hoon was crying now. 2, I now pronounce you husband and wife, the officiant said. Ji-Hoon pulled her in and kissed her like his life depended on it. The crowd erupted. The reception. I have a confession, Ji-Hoon murmured as they danced. Oh God, what? I fell for you at that first conference. When you insulted me in front of everyone, I thought you were magnificent. You what? I know, I handled it poorly. But you terrified me. So you decided to destroy my company. I'm Korean, emotionally repressed. It made sense at the time. She laughed. You're ridiculous. You love me anyway. Unfortunately, Naima Kang has a nice ring to it. Naima Okonkwo Kang, she corrected. I'm keeping my name. I wouldn't expect anything less. They swayed together. 2 rivals, 2 CEOs, 2 people who'd found love in the last place they expected. Worth it? He asked. Every second, she promised, and kissed her husband under the cherry blossoms. The combined headquarters. Seoul. The merged company was thriving. Okonkwo Tech's innovation plus Kang Tech's infrastructure, unstoppable. Naima and Ji-Hoon ran it together, co-CEOs, equal partners. The board wants to know about the expansion timeline, Ji-Hoon said, walking into her office. Tell them Q3, I'm not rushing this. I agree. I'll back you. Really? No argument? I trust your judgment, wife. She smiled. Still got butterflies when he called her that. I have news, she said. Good or bad? Depends on your perspective. She handed him a small box. He opened it. Inside, a positive pregnancy test. His eyes went wide. We're pregnant. About 6 weeks. He sat down hard. Wow. I know it's fast. We've only been married a year, and the expansion... He crossed the office and kissed her. This is perfect, he said against her lips. You're perfect. We're perfect. Even though I'll be hormonal and impossible, you're already impossible. I'm prepared. She smacked his arm. He laughed and pulled her close. I love you, Naima Okonkwo Kang. My rival, my wife, mother of my future child, my everything. I love you too, Kang Ji-Hoon. My enemy, my husband, my impossible, wonderful everything. They stood there in her office. His office. Their office. Two people forced together by circumstance who chose each other anyway, and would keep choosing each other every single day. And that is how enemies become lovers, rivals become partners, and forced arrangements become real love. Okay, I need to know. What was your favorite moment? The contract thrown in his face, Tokyo hotel sharing, the Botanical garden wedding, or maybe that pregnancy reveal? Drop a comment and tell me. Real talk. Would you marry your business rival if your families forced you? Would you fall for them like Naima and Ji-Hoon? Comment, rival, romance if you'd give it a shot, or never mixing business if you'd keep it professional. Where are you watching from? Comment your city and country. Soul Heart Stories family spans the globe. If this enemies to lovers story made you believe in impossible love, smash that like button right now. Seriously, it helps more people find these stories. Not subscribed yet? What are you waiting for? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications because I drop a brand new Afro-Korean romance every single day. Tomorrow is Friday, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. If you binged all 50-minute plus, check the description for more playlists. Arranged marriage romance, enemies to lovers, CEO stories, and so much more. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in love that starts impossible and becomes inevitable. Thank you for being part of this journey. I'll see you tomorrow with another story that'll make your heart race. Until then, remember, sometimes the person you can't stand becomes the person you can't live without. This is Soul Heart Stories.